So how you doing, brother?
I'm good, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Long time no see you,
Yeah, it's a
man.
long time
Been a minute
since the Bing days.
since being this. It's good to see you, though.
Yeah, same.
Good to
Yeah,
see you.
of
How you
course.
doing, bro?
Good. Some of that for me.
How's
Some of
life?
that, for me. Life is good.
Life is good.
Blessed to be here.
Okay.
Work is good. Family is good.
Okay.
It's good.
All right.
Good.
So, bro, thank you so much, man. Because I always wanted to do this type of interview because I always figure like we are first or second generation college students or former college students, and we have our younger brothers and sisters coming after us, and then I feel like it's up to us to kind of like share our experiences with them
Yeah.
in terms of school experiences and also professional experiences. And you are one of the people that I really believe that, good example from the Bang
Thank
days,
you.
you were chilling, focused in school, family guy. And I feel like, we need to hear from people like you more often. And that's the reason we want to do this interview. So I really hope you're okay with it.
Okay. No
Okay,
problem.
so
Yeah.
bro, you can just start by giving maybe like a, something about your background. Maybe your origin, where you from, where you did your undergrad, where you did your grad school,
Okay.
the reason why you chose the major that you did, some of the things you went through, some of the things, goods. It can be good, it can be bad. Just sharing your experience in general.
Hmm.
Be comfortable. Just do you, bro.
Gotcha. All right. Let's start off. My name is Mory Thieba.
Okay.
Born and raised in Burkina Faso, West Africa.
Always.
Sir, was there until I was 8 years old. Then
Okay.
that's when I moved to America.
Okay.
That was around 2007, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Then coming to America, came with my mom, my dad, my sister.
Okay.
Settled in Brooklyn, so I've been here ever since
Okay.
I came. And then growing up here, I went through like public school systems here and
Okay.
there. So growing up here, like it was never easy, especially
Yeah.
like coming straight from Africa, and then
Got you.
you don't know anybody here. You got to get accustomed to like
Which
life.
city were you guys living in when you first got
We're
here?
in Bushwick in Brooklyn,
In Brooklyn.
so in Brooklyn.
Got
Yeah, it wasn't the easiest, but
you.
of course, we had to stick together as a family. And
Always.
my parents was always told. I have a little sister. My parents always told us, school.
Okay.
That's like one of our ways out of this. And so ever since then, I've just been like really trying to do my best in school and whatnot. So I went
Got
to
you.
like elementary school, middle school, high
Okay.
school here, and then I went to college at SUNY Binghamton.
Okay.
That's where we met, of course.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I did my undergrad and postgrad at Binghamton,
Okay.
and so when I first started undergrad,
Mm.
I didn't really know what I want to study. I knew I had like interest in technology
In
and stuff
technology.
like that. So obviously,
Okay.
let me try to do computer science.
Computer science. That's
Yeah,
what you start with it?
yeah. That's what I tried to start with.
Okay.
And it was going okay my first freshman year. Did some
Wait,
classes
where was that? In Binghamton?
in Binghamton.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I started there. Started with computer science. So I had to get first. I had to get into the School of Engineering.
Okay.
So I did like the first 2 years of that.
Okay.
But I didn't end up going the way I wanted to.
Okay.
Classes eventually got like a lot harder than
Okay.
I eventually imagined.
Okay.
And not that I couldn't do it, but just that I didn't. I kind of like lost a little bit of interest in it also.
So for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Wow.
for two
So
years.
you did the
Yeah.
first year.
Yeah.
Did you have like any idea? You were like, okay, after the first year, were you thinking, is this for me? Is this not for me? Okay, I'm gonna do another year. Or what were you thinking?
After the first year, I was like, okay, this is for me. But
Okay.
I know it's gonna get harder.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try to do it anyway because I don't know if like you ever heard of it, but like technically like the second year of like STEM programs is like
Okay.
technically like the weed out
Got
phase. Is like people
Got
who
you.
like are meant to do it go through. People are like
Right.
who might not have challenges or like not figure it's not for them. That was pretty like they leave
Right.
it. So that's where like I was like my second year. After my second year, I was like not really feeling this anymore. And then
Okay.
afterwards, I was really struggling to like know what I want to do because it was getting to my junior year, and I was like, oh, damn, it's like I was like, kind of feeling a lot of pressure almost, and
Okay.
I was like, a bit lost. But then one day I run into a good friend of mine. His name is Joshua Gonzalez.
Joshua Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, really good guy. One of like big reasons why we're here today.
Okay.
Shout out to Josh.
Shout out to Joshua. All right. Shout out to
Yeah.
Joshua. Josh, if you hear us, thank you.
Yeah. But I was talking to him. So it was like the first day of my junior year.
Okay.
Not start school hasn't class haven't started yet, but I'm back in Binghamton.
Okay.
And then I see Josh at one of my friend's house.
Okay.
He told me this internship he did over that summer, and he was something around like analytics and around population analytics, something like that.
Was he a second year student, or like you guys? He was like a senior.
He was a senior. He was
Okay.
older than me. So yeah, he was older than me. And then he told me that internship he did. But I don't remember him having like a technical major.
Right.
So I'm asking, well, what's your major again?
Right.
He told me geography, especially with a concentration in computer applications. So
Okay.
technically GIS, so it's like how they called it
Okay.
in Binghamton. So GIS stands for Geographic Information Systems.
Okay.
And
Geographic.
Yeah, geography or geographic.
Okay.
The geography information systems.
Okay. Okay.
And he told me he told me that was the major. I'm like, wait, what is that?
Right.
I was like, I never knew Binghamton had a major like this. Like,
Right.
yeah, so GIS basically bridges the gap between the physical geography of the world, like such as like the physical world, like population or cultures, anything like that deals with like people in the world. It bridges that gap between that and technology.
Okay.
And so when those two worlds collide, that's when stuff like cartography, map making, or anything that you can collect data of spatially or non-spatially, and then you want to represent it on the map or on another like format application. That's where GIS, the whole world of GIS comes.
So you're taking the traditional geography major, but combining with kind of like another major, but that is more technical.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and so you're working with more software.
Okay.
You can even working with drones.
Okay.
I'll get into that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Exactly. And so he told me about that major. I'm like, wait, what? That sounds so cool because as a kid, actually, I was always into geography,
right?
Like cultures and people, languages, whatnot, and also like technology. But I just never knew a world existed where I could combine them. And it was also since it was my junior year, I was worried about it might be too late to start it, but he told me no to go to the talk to the geography office in Binghamton. Great shout out to them also, like really good people there.
Shout out to the geography department in Binghamton. Thank you.
So I went to talk to them, and then they explained to me the major. They were like, yeah, these are the classes you need to take. Like, I already took one or two like core classes that might correlate, but I started off fresh. Like I was like, I'm dedicated. I'm gonna do this.
Right. So what happened to the 2 years of studies that you did? Those credits, because this is like you get into a new major, right? So what happened to the 2 years worth of credit that you did?
So most of those classes were like already the general requirements, classes that you needed everybody needs to take. So I had a lot of those. So really the only remaining ones were like the core classes, the majors I wanted to do. Because I didn't take too much of those, just a couple. So starting off now, I was just taking only like classes I needed to take for the major. And so I did started taking those were classes like I started off from like basic human geography, learning about like cultures, concepts of like race or health, things like that. And then it's worked up my way, to senior year. That's why I was taking more technical classes, were cartography, mapping, drone class. No, I didn't. No, drone classes was later.
But because I remember you taking drone classes.
Yeah. So I did take a drone class because I have a great interest in like drones or aerial imagery. It has a huge application in GIS where you can use drones to like fly over like a city or population, just over a general city, and you can capture a lot within that a picture. So
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So you
can
continue. You can continue.
But yeah, so this is a class I was taking my junior and senior year, and then after I finished my senior year, the geography department asked me if I wanted to do like a +1 program to get my master's, because I would be like I was in a good space to do it. It would be quick, 1 year, and then get more accreditation under my belt. And so I did that. My year of grad school, I did 1 year of grad school in Binghamton, and then got my master's in GIS.
Nice, congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
I think I already told congratulations, but since we did an interview, congrats again, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Good stuff.
And I got my master's, and then right after getting my master's, I applied to work at my current company, ESRI, which stands for Environmental Systems Research Institute. They're a world leader in geospatial GIS software providing. We provide software to like domestic, private, government agencies or private companies.
Right.
So we provide geospatial software to them. They also use our products to like do their stuff. Like I don't remember like when COVID started.
Right.
On TV they would show like dashboards of cases by like county, country, state.
That was you guys?
Yes, it was
Nice.
Esri made that software.
So you guys do something interesting then.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So I guess this is something
people are aware of what GIS is all around.
Right.
From like all maps you see,
or
like even like anything that shows like a population or on an app that's.
So what you're saying, geography can be very cool.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It's
the world we live in. We live in a geographical world. Yeah.
100%. So based on my understanding, 2 years you were undergrad studying something else.
Yeah.
But after 2 years, you like, maybe this is not what I really want to do. Maybe there is something I want to do, but you were not sure. Luckily, you met somebody, one of your friends,
Josh, yeah.
And Josh told you about this cool program that you could do, which is like combining geography and technology. Okay. So changing major after 2 years, did that add any additional years to your undergrad years?
No, not at all.
So you were able to do on the undergrads in 4 years?
Yeah.
Even though you changed your major?
Yeah. I just took a lot of the core class at the same time.
So would you say that for students, let's say you're doing your first 2 years in college and you don't really know which major you should do, what kind of classes can you take? Should you take like classes like you did, like maybe not take like the core classes, take like maybe electives, things like that for like maybe the first year or 2 year until you really figure out what you really want to do? Or what would you say to that?
Yeah, it depends on, like, for example, if you not know what you have a general interest in, let's say you like I don't know, history. You can still take your elective, but you can maybe take 1 or 2 history classes, see how you'll like it or whatnot. So I would say really stick to like taking maybe 1 or 2 core classes in a specific like field, and then the rest, take your electives, because you're always gonna need like your electives before you graduate and whatnot. So, but as long as you take something that where you can dabble a little interest into, so you can see if like you really want to do it or not. I would recommend that.
Okay. But besides Josh telling you about geography and how cool or how important geography is, and how he thought like maybe this major would have been good for you, other than that, was there anything else that inspired to go into that major?
Besides what he told me, like I said, like when I was younger, I was always into like geography, into people, like cultures, and technology. So I just never knew like I can bridge that gap together. But as soon as he told me about it, like I felt something in me, like this is what you need to do. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I did it. And
that makes sense.
It felt natural to me.
It felt natural.
Yeah. And so that's why I decided to do it.
So
I just didn't know about it before.
Right. But after undergrad, you told me after undergrad you did +1 to do your master's.
Yeah.
But after undergrad, were you working, or you were doing like internship or research before starting like a master's, or what were you doing in between?
Oh no, I started right away.
You started on the master's right away.
Yeah, I had some side jobs on the side just to make some money in there. But I started right away. After, undergrad to grad school.
Okay. Yeah. So after your master's, that's when you apply for like a full-time job.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And luckily, you got it.
Got it right.
It's not luck though. I want you to know that you put in the work.
Yeah, I did.
I want you to know that. Yes, luck exists, but I did see you in Binghamton, and I know you put in the work.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So I would say, like, as long as you do the work, as far as I just said right, as long as you do the work for something, and if the odds are in your favor, it will happen to you. So luck and preparation, that's where the recipe for success comes. Luck and preparation. Yeah, I feel that's at least to me. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So, how long have you been working since post masters?
It's been 2 years now.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years and 4 months. Yeah.
2 years. All right. So let's get a general idea of what you do at work.
Okay.
Right. So what do you do? If you say what was your title again?
Yeah, my position is a GIS technical analyst.
Okay.
So what I do is companies who use our software such as ArcGIS Pro, ArcGIS Online, ArcGIS Enterprise, or anything that comes as you offers tech for technical desktop applications. Yeah, different companies such as government agencies such as like Homeland Security, FBI, NASA, National Park Service, National Forest Service,
Good stuff.
anything that you might need. Like you want to anybody that want to create a map or has like data that needs to be that can be shown on a map or something like that. We work with them. And so my role specifically is when like they run into issues with their projects or software. That's where as an analyst comes in, I take a look at what's going on, troubleshoot, and then from there just work along with them to resolve the issue.
So in your day-to-day life, for instance, let's say on a Tuesday you get to work. Tell me about a Tuesday at work. Coming to work, getting no fees, or maybe you work remote. Can you tell me like your day-to-day? Let's say a cool Tuesday, it's nice outside, it's not raining, the weather is beautiful, you're feeling good. How is your day going on Tuesday?
My days are actually my day, like any day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're typically the same. I work remote, so just get up, do my routine, then go log into my desk, and then when I log into my desk, and I'm on, I use like the first 2-3 hours of my day to like work on any skills I want to do or any ongoing cases that I have or other customers. I call them, get on calls with them, and work through issues together. And then for the rest of my day, I'm on call for any new cases that might come in, and I'm on standby for that. And also like have meetings with my colleagues and my managers sometimes to maybe I'll help other people with their cases, and talk with my managers about futures, like what might be going on in the company or anything that might affect me or anything like that. I also have weekly meetings with my managers and to see how we're doing and also stuff like that. So I also like my company because they provide like a good emphasis on like work-life balance. So people, they always stress yourself first, your mental health first. And I really like that I have that leisure at my company. So I don't, we do work hard, but at the same time, to provide us an atmosphere to do that. So I don't always feel like drained or anything like overwhelmed too much like that.
So do you think it's important for people to work for those type of companies? I'm not saying SRE in general, but a company that provides work-life balance to its employees.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. Like we have lives outside of work. We just, we come to work, to do our duties, to make money. At the end of the day, that helps us provide for our families, for ourselves, and also contribute to society. So I feel like, as humans, we all function better when our mental health and physical health are tip-top shape also.
So let's go back to college. College is tough. College is nice. College is cool. College is tiring. College is fun. That's just college. That's college for you. So you did 4 years plus another year, so 5 years. So we're not gonna focus on your master's one week. So let's focus on undergrad, so more people can relate. In your undergrad lives in Bangkok, what are some of the obstacles you came across? How you overcame those obstacles, those challenges? Do you have any advice for any newcomer, any freshman, any junior, sophomore, senior? Any advice for any college student in general?
So throughout my time at Binghamton, I felt like I was always like I never had a problem making friends or going around like meeting people. But I do feel like sometimes Binghamton like it creates like a divided atmosphere or not. Let's say like for example like because of the weather, it gets cold sometimes, it snows like and stuff. You might be isolated at times. So there are like I did feel like isolated a bit like throughout all my years at Binghamton.
So all the 4 years you felt isolated?
A little bit, just sometimes throughout the years.
Were there like any specific periods, like so we can try to kind of understand the cause of some of the isolation?
Yeah, for example, like during when classes start getting tougher, everybody's in their own like world. You gotta really start locking in. Like people say, So sometimes you got might be studying by yourself, or just your friends are not too available. So sometimes it gets like, especially me, I like having like company a lot. So just that aspect, it gets like a bit tough, especially going closer to finals and stuff like that. You know how it is. Everybody's on grind
So
mode.
it's like most of the time temporary, not like
Yeah, it's not temporary. Yeah, it's
maybe
temporary. Like a month or
like a month.
two.
Because it's important for people to
Yeah,
understand. So that way, if somebody start feeling like that,
yeah,
be like, okay, what you went through this, it's not gonna be forever. This is just temporary.
yeah,
You know what I'm trying to
yeah,
say?
exactly.
So it's
Yeah,
important to know like the timeline
yeah.
so that people know like, okay, this is just for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get over this. Maybe your friends are busy with their classes, they're busy doing something. You might have now, maybe you are used to having company, but for this next 2 3 weeks, you might have to be by yourself. I know it's temporary, but how were you coping with that? Because those were things you went through.
Yeah.
But yeah, you went through them. Did you know, get up, face your challenge, or you just let it, just did the 1 month or whatever time it took, just maybe just stay in your room. But how did you really cope with those type of things?
Yeah, coping is so when it's unfortunately it gets to times like where you can't really access people like that because they are busy. That's when you actually have to start loving liking your own company, keeping your own self busy, like doing things like having especially hobbies that you like to do, such as even if it's simple as playing video games or playing soccer. I used to play soccer a lot. Yeah. So like,
we did win a couple of tournaments.
Yeah, shout out to Wakanda.
Yes, we did. Shout out to Wakanda always.
Yeah. So stuff like that, that always gonna put happy feelings back in your mind. Keeping just keeping yourself especially grounded, meditating, also getting back in touch with yourself. Like it's really important to like really make sure that you got yourself at the end of the day. And then of course there's gonna be that that time everybody else is free now. You can be with your friends and stuff like that. So as long as you keep yourself like steady during that time, I feel like that's it's always good. And if in case some people you don't, I know some people also tend to struggle with like mental health problem issues a lot, or it can lead to like starting like a plethora of like mental health problems. It's all there are all like always counselors that you can talk to on the campus as well. There's always going to be resources like to help you out. So I'm also say don't be afraid to reach out to people when you need it, because some people also like maybe they feel closeted, they don't want to reach out to people. It's I would say reach out because at the end of the day your own health matters first, because you can't really you're at you're in school for a reason, but you can't really do your work or whatnot unless you're not functioning first. So that's
that's a really great advice, because even though these are like temporary moments,
yeah,
but
it affects
you also
you.
need to take care of yourself. So you need to like look for resources. Maybe if you feel like a close friend or the people you are used to hanging out with are not around, maybe you can just go on campus, try to go to some of the clubs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
meet new friends.
exactly.
Or talk to a counselor, an
Yeah,
advisor in general. Right?
yeah. It is.
That's
Yeah,
very important.
exactly.
Very important.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 years you went to school, you went Bennington, you put in the work.
Yeah.
But what about family? How was the family? Was family supportive? How was the family support? What kind of support were you getting as a college student?
I don't know. Luckily, yeah, my family was always very supportive of me. Even like through my lowest times, they were there for me. Like I felt like their love a lot. So in a way, like you know, I know I had their support. Like my mom, my dad, sometimes would come up to Binghamton, sometimes to talk to me or hang out with me for the day.
That's very good.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
very
Yeah.
good.
And
In the Africans.
yeah, exactly. So
Especially Africans.
yeah, it can be tough to get your parents
Very
to get
good.
too busy. But no, my parents like really supported me. My sister also started college a bit. She's like 2 years younger than me, but she started like after during my junior year. That's when she started school also. So my parents were super supportive of both of us, like especially when we needed it the most throughout college. So I wouldn't be here without a big part of their support. Yeah.
That's really good to know. As college students, um, sometimes we go away for school, sometimes we just by ourselves.
Yeah.
But understanding or knowing that you got support back home, even though you might be 3 hours away, it might be 10 hours away, it might be another continent.
Yeah.
But understanding that there's there's a support system. There are people behind you.
Exactly.
Can give you the courage and and push you to finish, because sometimes you can be smart in school, but we saw a lot of smart people not finishing college.
Exactly.
Not because they didn't want to, but maybe came to a time where they need certain type of support and they didn't have that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not easy to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
What about friends?
Friends also, yeah. I always make sure to have like a good circle of friends around me, and friends that are also like ambitious, I am, and also on the same page as me. So my all my friends, I had my back. I had their back also when we needed each other. We still talk to my good friends today, and yeah. So it's always good to make sure you have like a village around you, your family and your friends. It's really important. Yeah, especially as Africans, we come from societies where our social interactions are built within communities. So it's always good to like have people that are loyal to you and to stick by them. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mory. And I have another question though. This one is, you did mention Africa.
Yeah.
Burkina. I know your love for Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
I know you love the country. I know you love Africa. So your connection to Africa, did it impact you in any way in your life in general, and also your life as a student, your life as a professional? As the connection that you have with Africa, with Burkina, does it impact you in any way? Does it influence you in any way? Does it change in any way?
Yeah. I see. Yeah. So like I said, I left Burkina when I was 8 years old, and I came 8. Yeah. Okay. And I came to America, and so I grew up spent most of my latter years here. Right. So I feel, I am American, but
100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you leave the continent at a certain age, because at 8 you don't really know much.
Yeah.
So your life kind of really started here. But continue with your.
But yeah, but still, even before I left, I still have a lot of memories of. I still had a lot of memories from before I left. So those are always still in my head, and even at home, my talking to my mom, my dad. My mom's like she speak our native language. It's called Mory, and so when she speaks it, I don't really speak it well, but every time she would speak it, I would like feel like a sense of bit of home in our home, like here, even though we're away from our home. But I was still feeling around, and my dad was still speaking French to him, so that's why I still speak a good amount of French. But yeah,
stuff. Both from Burkina.
Yeah, both from Burkina. Yeah. And so growing up, like from middle school, high school, college, like middle school, elementary school, middle school, like I kind of lost like a bit of my roots because again, I was like trying to assimilate into American culture and stuff like that. So I was kind of like, yeah, it happens a lot. Yeah. And
that's the age, 16, 17. No, what is
I know, like
14?
No, even earlier, like
Even earlier?
Yeah, like from 10 till like no 9 till like 11, 12.
Yeah, so you started early.
Yeah, those years I was like kind of like I'm like I'm not African, I'm American. Or even sometimes people actually, are you French or you speak French? Yeah, I'm from France. Like I would disregard the identity, part of identity, and a lot of it comes also came from like a lot of bullying. Also, being first like generation immigrant here, like it wasn't always that
I know a lot of people that went through that bullying stage.
Yeah.
Even, it doesn't matter even if they came at age 5. Sometimes they just go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and but getting to high school, I went to high school in Brooklyn. It's called Benjamin Banneker Academy. The high school really helped shape who I am a lot now, because it was a school fostered around like community, black excellence, black uplifting our community, especially like. It's a good school, yeah, of course. Banneker is a good school. I'll say it's a good school. It's public schools, not specialized, but it's the teachers there are great. Students there are great. We all could go through all sorts of life. We all make it out. So it's a very great school. But that school really helped me rekindle like that. How do I say, like my African sense of like self. Like especially like having teachers like some have traveled to Africa before, right. Some grew up in like around Black Panthers, some around people who come from like those walk of life who were inspired by like African people, African leaders, African movements, and so being around those teachers really like wow, like I really I should take more pride in this in my culture. Especially, I had this teacher. His name is Mr. Igishira. One of the best teachers I've had in my life. he started first like introduced me to books like Things Fall Apart, and then introduced me to autobiography of Malcolm X, and then along those ways learning about great like historians such as.
The crazy thing is, I read all those books in high school, and it was some teachers that introduced me to those books.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that learning about like great historians like Dr. John Henry Clark, helped me really like settle, getting back in touch with myself, really have that African pride like that. I should be prideful of where I come from, and getting to college, there's more. I'm starting to meet more Africans in college, and being around like you or any of our other friends. Yeah, exactly. You got to stick together. Even though I had like friends from other circles, but I feel like I was very comfortable around being like my brothers, my friend.
We do have a good community of Africans in Bangkok.
Yeah, we do. That really helped me. Yeah, that helped. And and then getting. So up until that time, I still have not been back to Burkina Faso yet. My mom had, my dad have, but I still haven't left the country. My sister and I still haven't been both back.
So for like how many years you were here before your first trip back to Burkina Faso?
My first trip was in 2021. So that was 15 years after leaving. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. So exactly. So I was very excited for that trip. When I went back, people who last saw me as like a little boy now see me as like this grown guy with locks and muscles and stuff like that. But yeah, but then getting back there, that's my first like. I really like felt, I felt welcome back into my home, and I started going around like the city, checking more of my family here and there, learning about like more like about who I am, like where I come from. And then my second trip was in 2022. I went back with my mom again, and then from there I was still, like meeting family. Like I still have my family I've never met before. Like I feel like I have a big emphasis on family because you can really learn a lot from everybody. And then meeting more family members, traveling around like the villages, seeing like how people live, like the customs and what we do. I that really like instilled that national pride back into me. And then I recently went back for the third time.
So the third time.
Yeah, that was like last month. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the third time.
Yeah.
Because now the third time you're done with school.
Yeah.
You're working.
Yeah.
Tell me what you got for Burkina Faso in Africa.
Okay.
How do you think, because when we come here to the US or to France, in other countries in general, and we're from Africa, sometimes our goal is the country we live in, because now we're American at the end of the day. Um, um, become resourceful to the country that welcome us, the US, right? So become resourceful to the US, um, pretty much give back to the US, right? But then again, we have like some origins, which is like Africa. So what do you think, like with your knowledge, your experience so far? Do you think one day you have a plan for Burkina Faso or for Africa in general? Do you think you can contribute to the development in any way, or can you just speak in general about your last trip in Africa?
Yeah. So my recent trip back, I really placed this trip on learning.
This last trip.
This last trip, yeah, yeah. And one of the things I did was I went to the Geographic Institute of Burkina Faso.
Okay.
They're the agency responsible for all geographical, territorial mapping, or anything really in those matters. And funny thing is, my dad actually worked there when he was younger. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't know that until recently because through my company, I met some people in my company who are working on a project with the Geographic Institute Burkina Faso.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're working on. I will share this link as well later on my computer. But yeah, they're working on sustainable development goals.
Share that later with me in the computer.
Yeah.
When we're doing the post production,
You'll share it.
So
Okay.
people can have like more visuals while we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. So they're my company, Esri Environmental Systems Research Institute, in collaboration with other agencies as well, and the Geographic Institute of Burkina Faso. They're working on like sustainable development goals that are set out by the United Nations. So these goals are meant to like track development and healthcare, access to food.
Healthcare.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly. Access to food, population security, access to clean water, and anything that follows along the guidelines of what the general population needs, or that can be tracked and its development also. So my company is helping. I'm gonna say Ligebe. That's what we call them, the Geographic Institute of Burkina Faso. Call them Ligebe for short. Ligebe. Yeah, Institute Geography de Burkina. Yeah, yeah. So I just refer to them as, and so they're working on like a project to show all these development on a dashboard, which my company is providing the software for. And so when I heard about that project that they're doing, I got in contact with the people.
Well, you heard about the project while you were
No,
before going?
Yeah, while I was here before I went to Burkina. Yeah, it was actually like a training for my job. I met somebody who's on the project very randomly. He told me about it, and then I talked to him. He got me into contact with somebody else, and then I talked to him, and then I got in a meeting on a Zoom where like all like the stakeholders combined. So people from my side and people from the Burkinabe side. And then from that call, since they saw my name and stuff like that, and they told me I'm from Burkina, they got excited.
Nice.
And I told them, yeah, we started speaking, got introduced to them. And then after that call, I made connections with them on LinkedIn. And I told them, hey, guys, I'm coming and Burkina next month. I would love to like meet you guys and discuss why you guys, what GI is actually looking like in Burkina. Yeah, so when I went to,
what was the reaction when you told them you were coming?
oh no, they were great. They already gave me their WhatsApp numbers. Like, okay, tell me as soon as you come, and we'll coordinate everything. Yeah, so I was very happy to hear that. And then, so when I went to Burkina last month, but that was one of the first stops I did. Went to the office of Ligebe, and then from there, I saw I just wanted to learn about how they're using GIS as an overall, because they're the geographical agency of the whole country. Right, so right. I was seeing what they're doing, and then how they're producing their maps, how they're capturing their data, and stuff like that. And then also I was able to meet with like the director of the institution, yeah. And then from there, I presented to him like my findings, which was like, I really believe that they can ameliorate or digitalize a lot of like the stuff they're doing, and to create like a product, an online enterprise, and show a lot of the maps they're creating, because these are very powerful maps. I can show you some examples as well, like that can, this stuff can be accessible to the population to show so they can learn more about like their own country and stuff like that. And then GIS applications can also be spread to other sectors such as transportation, healthcare. So that influence from them, they can really spearhead that movement in Burkina.
This is cool, man. No, continue talking, because this is so exciting, because I know back home we need tools, we need resources.
Yeah.
I know the US is more advanced, but really seeing you talk about it, yes, we haven't bridged the gap yet.
Yeah.
But the conversation is a beginning.
Yeah, the conversation, exactly.
Once we start combining, start collaborating, sky's the limit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. Especially with GIS, like the applications can be, to almost anything. Especially right now, my country's facing like a security crisis. Well, it was facing security crisis. Now they're doing a lot of work from like the military to like reconquer like the whole territory. And I was able to talk to them. The Shadi should be more on that. They're also, yeah, they're like also kind of, we help provide like mapping to show regions affected, regions that are getting realigned back into our national territory boundaries. I think other more stuff, I can't really go too much into that. But yeah, I learning about stuff, how if they're using it for that, I'm like, okay, good. And there's also much more things that can be used for GIS. For example, I'll give examples of like if you ever were in our capital, Ouagadougou, there's like commercial shops everywhere.
I've been to Ouagadougou.
Oh really? Okay.
I was there for only 1 or 2 days.
yeah. But there's like a lot of like Ouagadougou never sleeps. Like it's like but like it hustles. Yeah, there's shops, commercial centers everywhere. I gave an example of most shops or anything like that can be digitalized like on a mapping platform and create like a digital map of like who's here, who's where that, and it allows people to have keep access of these records and also make information more known. So if you want to know where to get the best jewelry, best clothes, go here, go here. And then we have also applications that help trace routes to places that that people didn't know were accessible before, or anything that anything along those lines. I can show you much more about that, but yeah.
Now you're gonna show me because
Yeah.
You talking about it, I'm like, this is so cool, but I know once we put it into like on some type of visualization,
Yeah. So
this is gonna be
that's the stuff.
this is
Yeah.
gonna be major.
Exactly. So that's the stuff I was recommending to them that can start using, especially like my company software to like really digitalize and iterate like their rate of production and work. So that was my I feel like that was my sort of wisdom to give them. I wasn't there on an official like visit for my company or anything. It was out of like my own accord. So I really can't wait to see what happens with that. Hopefully, I can get involved in some way somehow. We'll see what the future holds for that.
So do you think? So based on what you do here in the US and based on what the Institute of Geography of Burkina Faso is doing right now, um, do you see any disparity in terms of resources?
Yeah, that was one of the big challenges um, issues I've seen when I was there. Like, there's not a lot of resources in terms of funding, which allows if you have more funding, it allows you to like expand your team, get access to like more software, hire newer software, also set up more like a enterprise, like I was saying. So it's definitely like um, the distribution of resources. I don't know how it works like on a federal level there, but that's a really big issue that I see and like I hope can like be fixed, because if there's it all starts with like people having a vision. If there is a vision, you see potential in this, it will allow you to like get you more funding, or get more resources. So through funding you get more resources, and through these resources that's how you start doing your work. And yeah.
I mean, Mory, you're the expert, so I don't really have any advice to give you regarding GIS or geography. But the little advice I can give you as a public administrator: continue the conversation with the people back home. Continue talking to them, exchanging knowledge. Because sometimes, back home, sometimes it's unfortunate, but sometimes the the way things operate back home, so sometimes they don't like changes.
Exactly.
Sometimes it might be because they don't have the resources to bring changes, or sometimes the people that are really doing the administration don't want change.
Don't have the vision. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So the conversation that I'm not gonna say we know everything, but we are the new generation. Right?
Exactly.
We have a little experience of what's happening back home. Luckily, we are here too. We also gain some knowledge and experiences here. So we use this combined and do what we can do. We're gonna talk to them, probably suggest them a number of things. This is how to do this. Maybe you should do this. This might be this, and then hopefully they listen to us. But it seems like I personally think, like based on the conversation we had, you can bring something back. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I can see the potential. So I really, really hope you figure out something. Something that can be good also, since you're here. Maybe try to like maybe look for resources that they can use back home and maybe exchange with them. Maybe there's this website that people back home can use, maybe free website that can do certain things that maybe they're not used to in education. Or maybe there's some software that is hard to access when you're back home, but maybe there are programs or organizations that help you have access to certain things depending on what you do. So that would be something great, I think, that Gene.
Gotcha.
But so do you think you learned anything from the people back home?
Yeah, learned, despite, them having access to up to date resources, they're making use of what they have. So that even show me like a very old machine that they're using for city was it city mapping, or I forgot like how I forgot the exact name of it, but it's a very old device, like at least 20 years old, and seeing how they're still using that, but still able to like use do some good work with it. I'm able to see, okay, this is how things were done in the past, and how there's still people are still keeping up, not keeping up to date, but still like mastering it as per se. Yeah. So learning to make use of like what you have. That's a very big part of like what I learned there, because it shows like people are like still resilient. People are still want to do what some want to have goals, but just despite they don't have like what they need. So if the day comes that they have what like they actually need, then great work will be done. Yeah.
So, now we have technical majors, computer science, maybe, what is it, engineering, or maybe something else, right? So now people are telling you, oh, don't study geography, don't study history, don't study this, because once you finish with this major, it might be hard for you to get a job. What do you think about that statement? And do you have any advice to somebody who might be majoring in geography or who might be thinking about majoring in that field? Do you have any advice, or what do you think about the statement that I just made?
Yeah, the statement actually it's a very natural statement because we are in the technical world, we are in the digital world. That's where the world is like heading to, especially with artificial intelligence, AI. That's on the big scene right now. But I always say the principles of what make up our society are always going to be there. For example, geography, urban planning. These are skills you can't really teach a computer to know. Like it needs a human brain to comprehend, like especially to understand like a population, understand how people really think, how people live. You need it would always require like a human intelligence, like to spearhead that. And so when I'm response to that is even somebody majoring in geography, if you really like if you really love it, do it, because you're gonna find something in it for yourself. Even if it might not be like the highest paying salary of like as compared to like a technical role, but if you can always leverage your way around it. Maybe you can like go into like get a doctorate. You can become a professor, or you can go into research. To present, do great groundbreaking like research and to show off something, or anything along those lines. It's always going to be needed, and it's always appreciated. Especially there's the geographic community is very it's not very big. It's a big community, but it's a community that takes pride in like its work, and yeah.
Okay, but you did study geography, but you're doing something technical now.
Yeah.
So how were you able to do that? Was there a geography? I mean, you did mention you combine geography and technology. Can you elaborate on that so people that want to study geography but they want to have like technical skills?
Yeah.
How can they go about that?
Yeah, so luckily my school also offered like geography, but the track I was under was computer applications of human analysis. So that's technically GIS. So the classes I was able to take did offer like these technical aspects to it. But you can always learn. There's always learning you can do outside the classroom. So there's always GIS certifications you can learn, you can take, and you can do. Yeah, that's like pretty much these days you can learn pretty much everything else in the classroom.
So there are a lot of concentration.
There are concentrations in geography, okay, but GIS, for example, there's spatial analysis. There is cartography. Okay. What else? There is aerial imagery.
Those are concentration or major?
Those are concentrations.
Okay, so those are concentration.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can study geography in general, but you can do a concentration that is.
Yeah, that's like urban planning or something more technical. Yeah, exactly. So, the class I did take allowed me to like work on those skills, and I did like meaningful projects. For example, like I did a project one day in my neighborhood in Brooklyn. I used basically like a general map of like my neighborhood to show like food quality or food sources that people have access to compared to like more wealthy neighborhoods that have access to like better quality of foods. So even stuff like that you can see on like a simple map or aerial imagery of like any place that you look at, because again you see what's there compared to another place, you see what's there in between those two places. Nothing else is going to be the same. So that's what I was able to do. And then for my master's project, I actually did a project in Binghamton, and what I did was I used aerial imagery, which is drones, to capture like neighborhoods after throughout the year there's like times where like students party hard, they're always outside and stuff like that. Exactly. So I was taking neighborhood shots, like of using drones to capture neighborhoods after like the weekend of a party or the weekend of like a special holiday where students are known they're gonna be outside. See how much trash you're like throwing outside. For example, plastic cups. The red, if you see like a red plastic cup on a block or a lot of red plastic cups, there was a party there. Yeah, exactly. So I did that, and I compared that to like neighborhoods where local residents of Binghamton, if people actually live there, they grow up where they live, see the rates of like pollution around those two time periods, and also those two neighborhoods to see like basically I did that to like draw correlation between people who are from a specific place have more like affinity to the place, that they have an attachment to the place. They want to take care of it, take care of the environment, so that will lead them to recycle a lot more. Whereas somebody like students who are not from a place, who just come there for school and partying, we're not going to be inclined to like take care of that mid environment all the time. So that means recycling or effectively like doing that. So that's another example of like how GIS intertwines with the world. Like, yeah. To be honest, when you go to school, especially in Africa, you have to take you start geography class, right? You have to. Okay. I mean, I don't really know much about the school system there because I didn't finish it either. The school system in Africa is very theory. Okay. Not a lot of practice. Yeah. But I left a little early, so I didn't get like in advanced classes or whatnot. You know what I mean? Because I left there when I was a little young. But yeah, it was really theory, sports, and it's good to talk to somebody who studied geography, because now it's not only theory. Yeah, it's practical. Yeah. Things you can do with geography. This is good to know. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to ask you, right? We had this conversation, talk about your background, school, your professional career, your connection to Africa, friends, family. Just give us like, let's say we just want to do a conclusion, right? We want to give an advice. You already gave advice to somebody who wants to study geography, but give a general advice to a younger you, right? A younger you, or somebody else, right? A young person who's in high school, or maybe let's let's take a sophomore in high school. That means they got 2 more years before they graduate and go to college. Get them ready. Get them ready. Get them ready. Give them advice, guide them, point them to the right direction. Tell them there might be challenges there, but hey, challenges are there to get overcome, right? So just guide them. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like college planning should start as early as like your sophomore year of high school. So from there, you're not always gonna know what you want to do or study major in, but you do have general interests, hobbies that you like to do. For example, you like sports, you like having your little side business, you have, whatever that may be. There's always gonna be a way that can be applied, you know, in a professional setting or in a school setting. So doing a lot of research into what you like and how those can play out into like possible careers or jobs. For example, if you like sports, you like medicine. There's sports medicine. You could be like a team doctor or anything like that. So it's just gauge your general interests, what you like to do, what you don't like to do, and especially, and then now in the college aspect, you can start to look what colleges have these programs, what colleges offer these programs, and how does this program look like? Can you talk to like advisors from that college? Because colleges, there are a business at the end of the day. It's a business. So if you see like a name on an advisor on like for a specific college for a specific program that you want to go to, even if you're in high school, you should talk. You can send an email, schedule a call with them, because their job is to attract you so the college can make money. It's a business, but at the end of the day, it goes both ways. Like it's an investment that you're going to put in yourself. So you can do that, and also along those ways, making sure if you're still taking like, because I know these days they offer college classes in high school. You can take them outside of school also. If you can do that as well, I recommend it, because when you get to college, you don't have to, you're like a bit ahead. And so I feel like the best, the whole, what this falls under is always planning ahead, so staying ahead. And if you know what you like, if you know what you don't, even if you don't know what you want specifically, you can plan ahead by actually, like, start looking at areas that you might apply yourself to. Then you're going to make that choice later down the line. But if you're preparing for it now, it's going to make it so much easier going to college. And then when you get to college, it's it's nothing always has an easy start, and there will be road bumps at the end of the day. So um, regards to that, it's always important to remain true to yourself and know what you ask yourself. Why is it that I'm here? And you'll have your answers. If eventually, if you decide that it's not for you, college is not for everybody. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of jobs in this world, careers that college education might not prepare you for. For example, there's a lot of trades, important trades, like like an electrician or plumbing or even like construction, or even like if you're a creative, if you like making your own stuff, creating your own clothes, your music. There's always you don't have to rely on school for that, but you can always rely on like skills you can learn like outside of school, because those are also very acceptable in today's world, especially that we're going and everything's becoming more digital. You can learn everything on your computer, anything like that. Exactly. So as long as you have a general knowledge of what you like, what you want to do, how you can learn it. If you want to learn it in the classroom, outside the classroom, that's up to you. But staying committed to it and putting the work in, you'll have rewards. Anything's possible. Yeah. Mory, I really, really appreciate you taking your time to have us. Of course. This was a great interview. No, pleasure's all mine. Yeah. But it was great. Yeah. Great. It was smooth. This is good. And they're gonna be more. I hope you know. Of course, yeah. I'm gonna come back here again. We're gonna have more interviews. Yeah. Sometimes you might have to pull out, but we're gonna do more interviews. Of course. Like I mentioned, when we first started the interview, um, we are first, second generation college students or professional. We missed certain mistakes or whatever the case is, but we did it right. Mm-hmm. But some of the mistakes could have been avoided if maybe somebody advised us. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I really appreciate the opportunity to interview